Now, for those of you who watch my streams, this is not the least bit surprising. Dustborn is probably the most woke video game ever made. This is quite literally government-funded propaganda. And the worst part is, the US government helped fund this game despite it being a Norwegian studio. And what is said propaganda, you might be wondering? Well, I almost don't even want to say this phrase out loud because I know there will be a Wikipedia article under the video title, but this game is quite literally about great replacement theory and how it's a good thing. The game spells this out for you in its most iconic song, We're the Dustborn, and famously, they rhyme the term newborn with new porn. Again, I have a warning strike on my channel, so I'm not going to describe what this reminds me of, but let me just say, there's a certain ideology that may or may not be associated with the Illuminati that starts with a Z that pretty much directly describes the things this game is pushing. Even worse, the entire plot of this game surrounds around these magical ghosts, which put misinformation in people's heads. You know, things like maybe an untested vaccine that might alter your RNA, or that the LGBT community might be coming for your kids. You know, that type of misinformation, right? You know, all sorts of right-wing beliefs are all misinformation that the characters correct by removing said ghosts from your head, aka lobotomizing you.
You can't silence all of us. We have a right to speak.
That's true. They do have a right to speak, and we are silencing them. We're literally silencing dissent, but we're the good guys.
Infected with disinformation.
Oh my god.
Infected with disinformation.
Oh my god.
What the hell? Why did I say those stupid things? I have a medical degree. There's no woke mind virus.
This is supposed to be an alternate future. The word woke wouldn't even exist in this. And the main character's vocal powers are basically just gaslighting. They even describe them as gaslighting in the text, and sometimes even worse. You bully people, and I gotta be careful about how I phrase this because I don't want this to be age restricted, but you tell people to just walk off of a cliff. There is literally a point in the game where you tell enemies to walk off a ledge. They're jumping off the fucking ledge. So canceling people, okay, hold on. They're admitting that canceling people makes them game end, makes them Minecraft themselves. This is unreal, man. Like, if Norwegians had any self-respect, these people would be in prison. Who do you think they're referring to? The worst part of this, too, is like the main gang of characters, this diversity squad, they don't even really like each other. They lie to each other, they manipulate each other. On numerous occasions throughout the story, the main character, Pax, uses her vocal powers to brainwash her own friends to agree with her or to force them to do things they don't want to do. Her Korean ex-boyfriend, girlfriend, non-binary, whatever, uses their powers to gaslight you. The giant fat Muslim cow is a fucking cop informant. And why did they write that? Oh, because her white spots, her skin condition, is a representation of her inner whiteness. Pax's sister hates her just because she decided to leave the all-female commune that you visit early in the game, and that's a whole bag of worms that I really don't want to get into right now, but the sheer amount of drama between the characters, they clearly don't really like each other on any level. But the main character is so powerful among these discount woke X-Men that she basically becomes their messiah, using the voice to rewrite reality itself. Because when a black woman speaks, you listen. Ironically, one of the biggest issues with this game's story comes down to its very concept, that we're supposed to believe that the power of words are so strong that allows them to defeat the fascists and the chuds and all that, when immediately the thought came to my mind, all it would take the final boss to do is just say the N-word and boom, total party kill right there. It would be absolute Kino. Sadly, this is not that type of game. This game is so fucking blatant with its political propaganda that leftists don't even accept this thing because they know it makes them look bad. Everyone hates this game because it just spells out the truth with no filtering about what progressivism is really about, what cultural Marxism is about, all that shit. You know what woke actually means for the fucking drooling retards who still don't know what it means. This is what woke is. You know, you can look way past the surface level that this is the most diverse cast you've ever seen. I don't have to describe that. Your eyes just watching this footage already knew that. It goes much, much deeper than that, to the point where people thought this was a fucking parody because it's so blatant. But no, it's because the elites are that fucking out of touch. They think they can do whatever the hell they want. And this game is a perfect example of that. And if you think the game bombing means that their ideology failed on any level, you're wrong. Because governments have infinite fucking money. This is truly one of the most sinister games that has ever been made. And because it was so thoroughly mocked, people are going to forget that, but I'm not going to forget that because to me, this is just the ultimate self-report. They know they're bullying people. They know they're canceling people. They think it's okay because they think they're the good guys. They think erasing us is good. If you had to ask me what my biggest regret this year related to the channel is anyway, it was not reviewing this game. You would think forcing myself to suffer through so many bad video games that I'd be prepared for how gay and retarded this is, but I really wasn't, man. I had to play through this over the course of like 5 or 6 weeks because I couldn't stomach playing it for more than 2 hours at a time. And somehow this game is like 15 hours long when it's just walking around and talking. It's a fucking Telltale game, but 15 hours long of suffering. For as funny as it was at points, it ultimately was not worth it. And the final boss, again, you can't even make this shit up. The last enemy of the game is truth. Objective truth is the ultimate enemy of the leftist. It's fucking mind-blowing, man. It's too late to review it now. I know there's gonna be comments that say you should do a video anyway, but nobody cares about this game anymore. I had to say my piece though. This is probably the closest thing you'll get to a review on it. Just know that this is a worrying sign of things to come. I know people have been swallowing a lot of white pills lately, getting high on that copium because, well, over 10,000 layoffs in the game industry is pretty huge. BlackRock has lost over $1 trillion, yes, $1 trillion investing in ESG programs. But at the end of the day, these people have wormed their way into the game industry. The very developers themselves are far leftists who hate gamers and have told us on many, many occasions that they hate us. And the powers that be, the elites, whatever you personally define that as, think it's perfectly fine to burn money to mock us and to tell us what they want to do to us because there are no repercussions, okay? Again, I don't want to get banned, so I'm not going to say anything else on this, but this is one of the worst games I've ever played in my life, and is definitely the worst game of 2024. Alright, now that we're finally done with talking about bad games, we can finally cover a few decent ones. Since I never really review good games anymore, this will be a nice change of pace. Now, I'm sure there's going to be some of you who think a few notable games got shafted from this list, but like I said already, you need to view this